Hello everyone, I'm here today to introduce a new yearly show on this channel. Or at least that's the hope. I don't know who really plans out a yearly video series, but whatever. I'm here on the internet today to talk about some records that I'm really going to be going after this year. These records are highly sought after, typically expensive, and for the most part, pretty hard to find. Or if there is an easy and cheap alternative to it, then well, I'm looking in the wrong places, or it's just not what I'm looking for. A lot of people in the vinyl community, especially online, call these grails. It's what they refer to these rare records as. So just for simplicity's sake, I'll just end up calling them grails as well, even though personally, I think it's kind of a stupid name. But I digress, because I'm going to be going through a short list of records that I really want to try to get before this year ends. I want to make this kind of a goal to, really go after and see as much as I can get done. But I'm also willing to recognize that there are limitations here, both on my end as well as just the vinyl marketplace in general. So if I don't get them all, it's not the end of the world. I just wanted to make a video to kind of document and see how much of this I was able to accomplish. And by the way, if you see any of these records and you're like, wow, I want that too, or if you're thinking of a record yourself that you really just want to get your hands on, but you haven't been able to yet, leave them in the comments below. I would love to see what you guys have to say. I think this is always an interesting question to pose to people. First things first, I need to get my hands on that Black Flag Live 84 bootleg. It's been my favorite Black Flag show for years now, so I absolutely need a copy of it, even if the boot isn't that good. I used to listen to this constantly in my car. Like if you got my car, there was a pretty damn good chance that I just had this album on repeat or shuffle or whatever. So I really do need to get it on wax. Personally, I would love for them to do an official pressing of it, but beggars can't be choosers. I understand there are probably a lot of issues with doing that. And for some reason, whenever I tried to go and find the bootleg on Discogs, I have always just missed it. One has always just sold a month or two prior, and I feel like an idiot. But it's also going for $100 at this point too, so do I really want to shell that out for this album that might not even sound good when I'm actually spinning it? So yeah, I know this is a most wanted list. I still want this record. I need to find the right one for this one. Some of these other ones I might, jump the gun and just go at it as soon as I see it. But I have a feeling this Live 84 record is going to be a bit of a process. But hey, if they lower that price and I can get this thing for $70, yeah, I'll probably pull the trigger. Another record that will most likely break the bank for me is The Price of Tea in China by Boldy James. I've hit the point that I want this record so bad that I don't even care which variant I end up getting. I just want to own this LP. I mean, I seriously do think that this is one of the greatest hip-hop albums of the past decade, and honestly, I think I did a little bit of a disservice when I ranked it for whatever year, what was that, 2020? Whatever year that came out, I feel like I did that a bit of a disservice with how high I put it. I think it should have been higher. More or less, I just hate that I don't own this already because I adore it. I listen to it a lot. I don't listen all that much hip-hop anymore, if I'm going to be completely frank with everybody here, but this record is always on for me. It's just so fucking good. So yeah, I'd be willing to purchase any of the variants that are out there. They come and go on Discogs. This is going to be, I guess, more of a soft buy as well with the Black Flag. That's also not how I decided to do this here. This is all alphabetical. I didn't rank these at all. It just so happened that so far the Black Flag and the Boldy James record that I want to get, I'm not going to lose any sleep over if it's not the exact variant that I want, or if I don't get it immediately. I want to make sure that I can get a good copy for a good price and make sure that I can enjoy it for a very long time, which is how I think most people should be looking at records, in my opinion. I think that's a good way to decide if you want to get something or not. But even with that being said, sometimes you got to be a little picky and make sure you get the one that you want. That's kind of what's going on with this Buzzcole record over here, Chroma. I've liked this project for a long time. I've always wanted to get a copy. It's just, I feel like I never see it available on Discogs. I did check before I wrote this video, and the last time that it was sold was on September 1st of 2022, so not great, but I'm going to hold out hope that eventually another one will surface at some point. But this is one of those rarer cases with me where I kind of want the original pressing of this. If I get a repress, it is what it is, but I do think I'm probably going to set my sights on trying to get the OG version and, see what happens. I don't necessarily think that the OG is supposed to sound any better than the reissue. I don't know. It's fun to be particular sometimes. But I do definitely want to focus more on buying first pressings and, best sounding releases. And that goes for the next record that I'm going to talk about here, which is Heroin Man by Cherubs. But why would I ever want to listen to this disgusting noise in its, most precise and fine pressing? Because why wouldn't I? I don't know, this thing's loud, it's gnarly, it's insane, but I love this album. Really grew attached to it while I was on tour a couple years ago. It's a great LP, and it's definitely one that means a lot to me, so I'm gonna spend the extra money to get the original pressing. There are some reissues available, but I'm gonna try to hold off. You know, I'm gonna see what I can do, and who knows, we might be coming into 2024 and I'm sitting here saying, you know what, I really want Heroin Man that bad. I'm giving up on the OG thing. We're just going to get a repress. Who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out next year, right? Another hunk of plastic that I do have my eyes set on is the Disembodied 10-inch record, If Only God Knew the Rest Were Dead. This is a killer hardcore record with some of my favorite Disembodied songs on here. And I'm also a sucker for like weird vinyl pressings itself. I don't really do picture discs as much. Like, I don't know, I think that the sound quality or whatever is supposedly not as good. Personally, I've never bought one myself, so I don't know, but I'm gonna take everybody's word for it on there. But when it comes to like weird ones that are, you know, in weird shapes or different sizes, like in this case being a 10-inch, I'm usually gonna try to go for it. It seems like they are a little difficult to come by in great condition. I feel like I just saw one sold for like $35, but that's definitely like below the median price. So I have a feeling that, you know, might not have been in the best condition. So we'll see. I'm more on the hunt. It doesn't have to be like a sealed copy or anything like that. I would gladly take even VG Plus. I would gladly take that. So we'll see. This one's going to be a bit of a wild card in all honesty. I think if I find it like just at the right place, right time, it's going to be an instant buy, but I don't know, this might not be as prioritized as some of the others, but then again, we'll see. It's all subjective. Like I said, that's why we're making the video. I kind of want to see how I feel about things in a year, and I think it'd be interesting. One record that unfortunately I will never give up on is, well, it's not just one record, it's a bunch of records. I've wanted the Floor Below and Beyond box set for a long time, as long as I've listened to Floor, I guess at this point. I don't even know. Boasting 10 LPs, 1 7-inch, and a shit ton of CDs. This thing is a beast. I don't know if I'm ever gonna find one in perfect condition. I think there are only 305 of these box sets made, so... And they also come with like a t-shirt and stickers and all this other shit too, but in reality, I'm just there for the records. Especially because some of my favorite Floor albums are not actually pressed outside of this box set. Like my favorite album by them is Saturday Night in Tears. It is not on vinyl unless you were to buy this box set. If you really want to boil it down, I would be looking to spend, I believe it's probably going to be around $200 for that one record. There was one of these that sold in September of 2022, which is good. So, you know, hey, for such a limited number here, I'm really holding out hope that one of these will surface yet again. Like I said, it's probably going to be about $200, but for a box set of that caliber, personally, I think it's worth it. Fuck that. I think it's more than worth it. I'd probably pay a little bit more than that as well. This is definitely going to be one that if it pops up, if it's in the right condition, I will be hitting buy. Another one that is probably going to be another instant buy if it's in the right condition is Orchids Dance Tonight, Revolution Tomorrow. But of course, I'm talking about the original 10-inch yellow translucent version. There are a lot of pressings of this record, and they're all kind of like rare or out of print, so that's kind of cool. I wouldn't be upset if I didn't get the original pressing. I really wouldn't even care all that much. I would like to try to get it, but I understand, you know, if a better opportunity arises for me to get a repress, I'll do that. I really just want this record that fucking bad. I have some other Orchid in my collection, but I mean, this is the one. This is like one of my favorite, if not my favorite Power Violence album of all time. One did just sell in December of 2022, so I must have just missed it in, you know, the whole craziness of the holidays. So once again, eyes peeled, gonna do my very best to get my hands on this because fuck, that album rips so hard. If any of you buy it, I swear to fucking God, I will not be a happy camper if I find out that one of you bought that before I did. But if you did, congratulations, I'm happy for you. Well, it seems like we are on a bit of a 10-inch tear. Just let the joke slide, let it slide. It seems like we're on a 10-inch tear right now because the next one that I'm really going to be looking for is Planes Mistaken for Stars self-titled. At this point, I don't care if it's the white or black version. It doesn't matter. As far as I'm aware, there is not a repress or a reissue of it yet, so I kind of have to get the OG, which is like almost something you'll never hear me complain about unless it's so far out of reach that there's no way I'll ever be able to buy it. Yeah, I just got into Planes Mistaken for Stars like 2-3 weeks ago. Like, it's been very, very, very recent, but god damn it, I love that self-titled record so much. And yeah, I can definitely see myself paying a bit of a premium to make sure that I have it. Also, there's definitely a video coming on them in the future. I don't know how soon yet, but there's definitely one in the works. One last major rare purchase that I would love to make this year is the Vinyl Me Please box set of Sparklehorse's discography. I only own It's a Wonderful Life, and I love Sparklehorse, so I absolutely need to collect the rest of his records, and I figured that, you know what? I feel like the best way to do it is through this box set. Financially, no, that is not at all the best way to do it. It actually might be the worst possible way to do it. But considering I've been a huge fan of his for a long time, I figured, you know what? I at least need to fancy the idea of possibly purchasing this. Now, with that being said, it is expensive. It is really expensive. The cheapest option is from Denmark, I believe, and it's going for $400 plus an additional like $80 to ship. The cheapest one that I found, at least in the US, going for $450 right now. I don't have that kind of money to spend on Sparklehorse at this very moment, and I don't know if I really ever will. But I mean, I gotta admit, I still want this. I really do. This might be the big one. This might be the white whale. I have no idea. I don't know. I could make this video for like 10 more years and I might never ever get that box set. I'm not quite sure. But I do think it's good that I put it out there on the interweb for all of the peoples to see. So when it comes back around and next year I say that I didn't get it, you can all yell and berate me and, you know, just say, Luke, you should do it. The money means nothing. It means it's $1. It's paper. It has no meaning. And you're right. It doesn't. You're completely right about that. But, you know, that's a big old tough pill it's a big $450 tough pill to swallow is what that is. So maybe I'll be blessed with like a price drop, but I find that completely unlikely, so we'll see what happens. And that will do it for my 2023 Grail list. God, I hate that word. You know what? Go to the comments, let me know if like you think that Grail is a good word for like a rare record. I don't know, maybe there's a better alternative. Maybe we can come up with a good one. How about that? While you're down there, please feel free to subscribe for more videos like this every single year. At least that's the plan. I also do shows like Stacks of Wax, where I go through my record collection, show off what I have alphabetically. You might even be able to cheat, and some of these records might end up in those videos before they end up in the 2024 Grail video. I also do a show called So You're Interested In, where I go through an artist's discography to pick out their best starting point in order for new listeners to get into their catalog. But yeah, some big things coming to the channel this year, at least hopefully, and yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. But yeah, check back in January of 2024 to see if I was able to nab all of these rare records. I find it incredibly unlikely, but who knows? Weirder things have happened. Be sure to go and support your local record stores if you are able to, along with the local artists in your area. And well, until I see you next time, happy listening.